Well, good evening, everyone. We're back again for another little session here on making decisions. One of the biggest problems your children are going to be confronted with is how to make right decisions. Ask yourself, Mom, Dad, how many decisions did you make that you would have liked to change? Because you didn't stop to realize that whatever decision you make, you live with. And then you get one of those diplomas, that are signed in your blood, and you pay the penalty from the decisions that we've all had to make. I made wrong decisions too. We all have. But nobody taught us the importance of making decisions. We thought we were perfectly capable of making whatever decision we wanted. And that leads to a lot of problems. Now, in making decisions, you've got to start early on teaching your children how to do it. And the biggest mistake is that mom always says it 2, 3, 4 times, whatever she wants her children to do. You only tell them one time. Now, I know it takes work. Put yourself in an example. You're in the kitchen getting dinner ready, and Johnny and Susie are on the floor in the living room, and they're playing with all their toys. And you come to tell them, pick up your toys, we'll get ready for dinner. And I've always felt that if I invented hearing aids for kids, I'd have been a millionaire, but I didn't. But anyhow, they keep on playing. Now you tell them, I'm going to give you a chance to make a decision because I'm only telling you the one time that I wanted you to pick up your toys. So if I have to pick them up, you can't play with them for a week. But that's your decision. That is not mine. I'm here just as a parent trying to keep the family together and do things right. And I want you to learn a lesson of the value of whatever decision you make in life, you're going to live with it. So you tell them to pick up their toys one time. If they don't pick them, you pick them up. I know you're busy cooking, you're busy getting dinner. What's more important? Your kids making right decisions later on in life or wrong decisions in front of a judge? What would you rather see? So remember the first class or the second class we gave, on the mind and all of those things. What can happen? What can take place? So you have to educate them. And you start early. There's so many things in the house that you can make decisions for. When to come in, when we're going to eat, making your bed, washing the dishes, all of those things. Get the monkey off your back and put it on theirs. They've got to learn to make decisions because before they're out of middle school, I'd say even grade school nowadays, before they're out of grade school or middle school, certainly in high school, they're going to be confronted with drugs, tobacco, sex, alcohol, gangs, sex change, and you name it. You name it. That's what's going on in the school systems today. So they got to have, and you know what? You won't be there. You're not going to be there. Well, don't do that, Johnny. Don't do that, Susie. You won't be there. So now they're making decisions, big decisions, that could alter their whole life. So you tell them pick up their toys. If they don't, then you pick them up. And then you won't have to do it for 3 or 4 days, whatever you decide to do on that particular part. I remember a fellow that was at one of my seminars, and he told me, he says, Mr. Gossels, I did that. I picked up the toys, and then I had to give him, after it was all over, I think I told him 3, 4 days. And then I says, okay, I'm going to give you another chance to make a decision. if you don't do it, I'm going to pick them up, and you can't have them for 3 or 4 days. So you tell, well, I can wait 3 or 4 days. What's the big problem? And so he doesn't respond. So next time you got to make it a little tougher. You say, now I'm going to give you a chance to make another decision. If I pick up your toys today, they're going to the Goodwill. So there's no getting them back. They're gone. Want you to think about that because it's your decision. So he says they didn't believe me, I guess, because I had to pick them up. Well, that was a tough thing to do. I boxed them up, took them down to the Goodwill. Now they know I mean what I say. So they realize right there, hey, all my toys are gone because I made the wrong decision. So you've got to begin to teach them the importance of making right decisions because they're going to be confronted with some big ones. And how about you? What did you do? Peer pressure or a little something? What's the matter? I dare you to do this. They tell you that at school. You know, you're afraid your mom and dad are going to find out. Hey, they tell your kids all kinds of stuff like that. They did us, they did you. Use the knowledge you found out about yourself and be able to help your children not make the same mistake that you made. Because there's no getting around it. They're going to be confronted with huge, gigantic decisions, as I mentioned, and you won't be there. Think about that. It's important. That's part of that production line concept I brought out in the other video. You're on the production line, so if you don't teach them the value of making decisions, by the time they're 18, it's going to be sayonara. They're done. It's gone. And you won't be able to get them back. And the heartaches that mom and dad have to go through, you know, I've been to court with kids, and mom and dad are sitting there with tears in their eye because they broke their heart. They broke their heart because of what they did. They can do it. So avoid those pitfalls. Help them see that down the road there are very, very important decisions to make that govern your whole life. I would have changed some. I had to live with them, and so do you, and so will your children. So remember the importance of making decisions. Teach them in every chance and opportunity that you can get, because there's a lot of them in the house, in the home, and give them a chance to make decisions and doing little jobs, and they're the ones that get the penalty, not you. Now we spank and do whatever else we did to the children, but the decision making is, I just can't express the importance of it, how much it really involves in their life and yours. The heartaches you're going to have, you know, from that. Dads, you worry yourself sick if your daughter's going to marry somebody, right? Did you teach them how to date? I mean, that's another class coming up later on that we can go through that's vital. Did you teach them the pitfalls? What were the pitfalls that you had? She's going to have to make a decision, because sometime when she's out with this guy, he's going to put his arm around her. Didn't you? Yeah. And then what? Well, then you're not satisfied with your arm around her. And you know the story. I don't have to go through it. You went through it. So realize your children are not any different than you are. Where did they come from? They didn't come from the stork. You know, they didn't fall out of the sky one of these days and, you know, your wife said, oh, look what I got. You know, it's real. Life is real, and your children are involved in it. And the days today are 10 times worse than when I grew up. It just is. And if you don't help them with the making decision and showing them and teaching them the value of it, you're in for some real heartaches. Oh, and you goofed up again.